Hello, welcome back to part two of my breast cancer journey. So, like I said, when they first said, they said I was at a grade one, which meant it was a slow mover. So, woo, I was relieved of that. But in the meantime, I still didn't had to wait for, I thought you would find out the stage, early on, but you really don't really find out till after the surgery, the breast surgery. So in the meantime, and I got some notes here. Let me see. On I met my oncologist who was going to perform the surgery on the 10th of December. So everything was moving pretty fast because my diagnosis was on the 3rd, on the 10th of December, and then I had an MRI on the 16th. Yeah, so I was pretty nervous about that because, heard so many things about the MRI. But this one, actually, it wasn't as bad since it was a breast one. So I was laying on my stomach, face down like that, with my head, all I could see is the floor. And, of course, my chest, they had that where they could see it underneath it. But it wasn't as claustrophobic because I think if I was laying on my back like the way some people have MRIs, it would have made me more claustrophobic because you could see the walls of the machine. But so no, that was pretty okay. So then after having that, I was fine. Then I was scheduled back to go see my oncologist. Once again, I guess once the results came in. So now here it goes. The results when they got the MRI, and I went to see. I was very confident. I was upbeat, and everything. But then when after that she went over the results, she had some news that I was very disappointed in. That I was going to have another MRI with a biopsy being performed at the same time. I guess they saw something else somewhere else in my breast. So I'm gonna tell you, that day I was mad. I mean, I was burning mad. I was just mad at what could being mad couldn't do anything. I was angry. I was just fussing. I was talking to the Most High Yah. I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. And I'm like, really, it really wasn't nothing I could do about it. But I'm gonna be honest, I was really mad because I didn't get I was so positive, and just thinking positive. I wasn't even thinking nothing like that. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then now I gotta have another biopsy because I just don't like things like that. I don't like nobody cutting on me doing anything. So I was just like, oh. So for a little while, then I talked to my mom and, felt a little better after her. Then she was like, we have my brother has his friend. She is a breast cancer survivor. Matter of fact, a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And then she asked was it all right if she talked to me, so I let her talk. And then one of my cousins, had experience with it was similar with a similar type of breast cancer that I had. Like I said, I thought it was just breast cancer was breast cancer, but when I talked to my brother's friend, I felt bad that I was even upset because she went through way more with a aggressive form of cancer that was spreading and a higher stage and everything. So after talking to her, I felt kind of guilty. I didn't know what to say, that I was even having a little temper tantrum about what I was going through. So, I mean, that was like, whew, I was like, really? And then later on, I called my cousin, and that was a conversation because her and I had the same type of breast cancer. So she really walked me through some things and gave me assurance, and that was a really blessing and a great help for me dealing with that at that stage. So like I said, you just be playing a lot of waiting games and waiting for this and don't know this. I didn't know for sure what stage it was, and I didn't know that because I was scheduled for surgery. And my oncologist was trying to have it in December to get it over with. But at the same time, the Most High Yah knew it didn't work out that way, because I had to have that other MRI, and she wanted to wait for all the tests to come back to be sure we knew which path I was going to have to take. But that worked out good as far as my insurance, because at the end of the year I would not have met my deductible, but because I had it got pushed back to January, I made my deductible. So with the rest of the treatment and stuff, my insurance covered everything. So that was good. That was a blessing in disguise. So you see how I was having my temper tantrum, but the Most High, he knew exactly what he was doing. He worked it out for my good. Like the word says, all things going to work out for our good to those who love him and those who are called according to his purpose. So that was just a shocker that I had to have another MRI and another biopsy. I was disappointed, but like I said, it worked out in the end for my good. So anyway, join me for the next part, for part 3, and I will tell you more about my journey.